Rain poured over the quiet street as Maya stepped off the bus, holding her suitcase tightly. She was 31, tired but proud. After 18 long months of hard work abroad, she had finally returned home. The thought of resting in her own little house filled her with joy. That house meant everything to her. It was the reward for all her years of sacrifice. She pulled out her phone and called her parents. "Guess what? I'm back. Wait till you see what I've planned for the house," she said, smiling as she imagined their surprised faces. But her parents didn't sound excited. Her mother's voice was soft and strange. "Oh Maya, that's nice dear," she said, as if unsure what else to say. Her father only muttered something in the background. Maya frowned. Maybe they were just caught off guard. It had been a long time since she'd seen them. The taxi dropped her off at the familiar street, and her heart started to race. She could already picture her little bungalow. The white walls, the small garden, the place that had felt like her biggest dream come true. But as the car stopped, her smile faded. She blinked in confusion. Her house was gone. Where her home used to stand, there was now a new fence, a fresh coat of paint, and a large sign that read, "Sold." Maya froze. Her heart pounded in her chest as rain soaked her hair and clothes. She dropped her suitcase and stared at the house that was no longer hers. No, this can't be real," she whispered. Hands shaking, she called her mother again. It took a few rings before her mother picked up. "Mom," Maya said, breathless. "Where's my house? What happened? Why is there a sold sign?" There was a long silence. Maya could hear only her mother's quiet breathing on the other end. Then in a calm voice her mother said, "We had no choice, Maya. Your sister needed it. You can always start over." Maya couldn't speak. She felt something inside her crack. The rain kept falling cold and heavy, but the pain in her chest was worse. Her family, the people she had worked so hard for, had sold her dream without telling her. As she stood in the rain, staring at the sign swinging in the wind, one thought filled her mind. They had betrayed her and called it love. Maya grew up as the responsible child, the firstborn, the provider, and the peacekeeper of the family. Her parents never had much money, so from a young age she learned to do without. While other children played outside, Maya helped her mother cook or looked after her little sister, Tina. Whenever her father came home tired and angry, Maya tried to keep everyone calm. She was the kind of daughter who always put others first, even when it meant losing her own happiness. When she finished school, she wanted to study abroad, but she couldn't afford it. So instead, she took a local job and helped her parents pay rent and send Tina to a better school. Her father often said, "Maya is our blessing," and she smiled, pretending the words were enough. Tina, 5 years younger, was the golden child. She was fun, carefree, and everyone loved her. She didn't worry much about the future. When Tina made mistakes, their parents always said, "She's still finding herself." But when Maya made even a small mistake, it was a big problem. "You're the eldest," her mother would say. "You should know better." Over the years, Maya learned to accept it. She believed family came first. No matter how tired she was, she always found a way to help them. When her father lost his job, she picked up extra shifts. When Tina dropped out of college for a while, Maya paid for her to go back. After years of hard work, Maya finally achieved something for herself. She bought a small bungalow. It wasn't fancy, but it was hers. The moment she held the keys, she cried. That little house was her dream, a symbol of freedom and peace. For the first time, she had something that didn't depend on anyone else. Her parents were proud, or at least they said they were. Tina teased her, saying, "You're acting like you bought a mansion." But Maya didn't mind. She smiled and replied, "It's my start." Then came the chance to work abroad, a tough, 18-month project that paid well. Maya took it, hoping to save more money for her family and for herself. Before leaving, she made sure her parents could use the house while she was gone. "It'll keep it safe," she told them. She trusted them completely. Those months away were hard. She missed home, but every time she felt lonely, she reminded herself it was all worth it. She imagined coming back to her house, maybe repainting the walls, planting flowers, and starting fresh. But when she returned and saw the sold sign, everything inside her broke. She stood in the rain, unable to believe it. The house she had worked for, the home she dreamed about, was gone. Her family had sold it. At first, she thought it had to be a mistake. Maybe they sold it because something terrible happened, or maybe they meant to surprise her with something better. But when she called her mother and heard her calm voice say, "We had no choice. Your sister needed it," she realized the truth. It wasn't just about money. It wasn't just about a house. It was about betrayal, deep, cold, and painful. All her life, she had put her family first. She gave up her dreams, her comfort, and her happiness for them. And in return, they took away the one thing that was truly hers. That night, as she sat alone in a small rented room, Maya kept asking herself the same question. Why? Her sister had always been the favorite, but she never imagined Tina would take her home. She thought love meant trust, sacrifice, and loyalty. But now she saw how easily love could be twisted into something selfish. Maya realized something important that night. She had spent her whole life giving, but no one had ever stopped to think about what she needed. The betrayal wasn't only about losing a house. It was about losing faith in the people she loved most. The living room is tense. Balloons from Tina's wedding still hang in the corners, half deflated. The smell of food from last night's party still lingers, but no one feels like eating. Maya stands in the doorway, her suitcase beside her, her clothes still damp from the rain. Her parents sit on the couch silent. Tina scrolls on her phone, pretending not to notice Maya's angry eyes. Maya finally breaks the silence. "You sold my house?" Her voice shakes, a mix of disbelief and pain. "Without telling me? Without even asking?" Her father shifts uncomfortably and avoids her eyes. Her mother sighs, her tone calm but cold. "Maya, we didn't have a choice. Tina was getting married. We needed the money, and your house was just sitting there. We thought you'd understand." Maya takes a step forward, her voice rising. "Understand? That was my home. I worked for years to buy it." Tina looks up from her phone and shrugs. "You weren't even here. You were in another country, busy with your work. You didn't need it." Maya stares at her sister in disbelief. "Didn't need it? Tina, that house was mine. You had no right." Tina rolls her eyes. "It was for the family. You act like you're the only one who's ever sacrificed something." Her father finally speaks, his voice tired. "Enough, both of you. What's done is done. We'll pay you back when we can." Maya laughs bitterly. "Pay me back? You sold my house, my dream, and you think this is about money?" No one answers. The room feels heavy, filled with guilt and silence. Maya looks around at the decorations still hanging from Tina's wedding. The ribbons, the flowers, the sparkle that cost her everything. She whispers, almost to herself, "All those years I worked, all those nights I went hungry so you could eat. And this is how you repay me?" Her mother wipes a tear from her eye but says nothing. Her father stands up and leaves the room. Tina looks down, uncomfortable for a moment, then says softly, "You're making a big deal out of nothing. It's just a house." That sentence breaks something inside Maya. She grabs her bag and leaves the house without another word. The cool night air hits her face as she walks aimlessly down the road, her mind spinning. Hours later, unable to sleep, she calls an old friend, Ethan, a lawyer she's known since college. She tells him everything, her voice trembling with anger and hurt. Ethan listens quietly, then says something that shocks her. "Maya, this isn't just betrayal. If they sold your house without your permission, it's fraud." Maya stops breathing for a moment. "Fraud?" "Yes," he says firmly. "They would have needed your signature to finalize the sale. If you didn't sign anything, then someone forged your name." Maya's heart starts to pound. She searches through her emails, documents, and papers. There's nothing from the sale. No notice, no call, nothing. Ethan continues. "Find out who bought the house. If you can prove your signature was faked, you can take legal action." The next morning, Maya visits the property office. Her hands shake as she looks through the sale records. And there it is, her name, neatly signed at the bottom of the document. But it isn't her handwriting. Someone had forged it. Her breath catches when she sees the buyer's name, Mr. Okoro, Tina's new husband's uncle. Her stomach turns. It wasn't an accident. It was planned. They had worked together, her parents, her sister, and Tina's in-laws, to take her home. Maya sits down, staring at the paper. Her family had not only betrayed her trust, they had broken the law. Tears fill her eyes, but behind them is something new: strength. For the first time in her life, Maya realizes she has a choice. She doesn't have to stay silent. she can fight back. But as Ethan later warns her, if you take them to court, Maya, it won't just be about the house. You'll be tearing your family apart. Maya nods slowly. They already tore it apart the day they sold my home. That night, as she lies awake, she stares at the ceiling and whispers to herself, I've always been the one to forgive, to fix, to stay quiet. But not this time. She closes her eyes, her heart heavy but determined. For once she's going to fight. Not just for her house, but for herself. Maya begins gathering all her documents, the house papers, old receipts, and her passport stamps to prove she was abroad when the sale happened. She meets her old friend Ethan, who listens carefully as she tells him everything. Ethan is kind but serious. Maya, this is a strong case, he says. Your signature was forged, and the buyer is a relative of your sister's husband. That makes it worse. You can fight this. At first, Maya hesitates. The thought of taking her own family to court feels heavy. They're my parents, Ethan, she says softly. I can't do that. Ethan sighs. I know it's hard. But they broke the law. They didn't just hurt your feelings, they stole from you. For the next few days, Maya goes back and forth between anger and sadness. She can't stop thinking about how her parents lied to her, smiling in her face while selling her house behind her back. Every time she looks at the forged signature, her heart aches. When her parents hear she's talking to a lawyer, they're furious. Her mother calls her one evening, crying over the phone. Maya, how can you do this to us? We're your family. You're turning against your own blood. Her father's voice joins in the background. You're heartless. We gave you everything we could, and now you want to embarrass us? Maya bites her lip, holding back tears. You sold my house without my permission, she says quietly. What did you expect me to do? Her mother's voice turns cold. We raised you. We made sacrifices too. You can't take your parents to court. What will people say? Soon the whole community knows. Neighbors whisper when she walks by. Old family friends stop calling. At the market, she overhears someone say, Can you imagine? She's suing her own mother. Maya feels alone. She spends most days indoors, reading legal documents and crying at night. She wonders if she's making the right decision. But every time doubt creeps in, she remembers the empty plot of land where her home once stood, the sold sign swinging in the wind, and she finds her resolve again. The hardest part is seeing how far Tina has gone. When Maya tries to talk to her sister, Tina crosses her arms and says coldly, You've always acted like you're better than everyone. Maybe this is your punishment for thinking you're the only one who works hard. Maya stares at her in disbelief. Punishment? Tina, I gave up my life for this family. I worked so you could finish school, so you could live well. Tina looks away. You're selfish, Maya. You care more about a house than your own family. Those words cut deep. That night, Maya lies awake remembering the old days, when she would sneak smaller portions of food onto her own plate just so Tina could eat more. When she gave Tina her school shoes because hers were torn. When she promised her mother she would always take care of the family. Now, that same family calls her selfish. Meanwhile, trouble starts brewing in Tina's marriage. Her husband, Chike, grows angry over the constant tension. Your sister is dragging our family's name through the mud, he shouts one night. Fix this before it ruins us. Tina cries and tries to explain, but Chike is tired of the drama. The arguments become frequent, loud, and bitter. Maya hears about it through neighbors, but she doesn't reach out. She can't. Then one afternoon, Ethan shows Maya new evidence. He has traced the money from the sale. Look at this, he says, sliding papers across the table. Your parents didn't use all the money for Tina's wedding. Maya frowns as she reads the documents. Then where did the rest go? Ethan sighs. Some of it was used to pay off your father's old debts, bank loans, unpaid bills. They used your house to fix their mistakes. Maya feels dizzy. So they didn't just take my house for Tina, they sold it to cover their debts too? Ethan nods gently. I'm sorry, Maya. She sits there quietly, tears filling her eyes. The betrayal runs deeper than she thought. It wasn't just about choosing Tina over her. It was about using her life, her hard work, her future, to clean up the mess they made. Later that night, Maya sits by her window, staring at the city lights. She thinks about her parents, how she once believed they could do no wrong. She thinks about Tina, the sister she loved and protected. And she feels something she's never felt before, anger mixed with freedom. For the first time, she sees things clearly. Her family had taken advantage of her kindness. They had used her sense of duty as a tool to keep her quiet. But not anymore. The next morning, she walks into Ethan's office with steady steps. "File the case," she says firmly. "I'm ready." Ethan studies her face. "Are you sure?" "Once this starts, there's no going back." Maya nods. "They already went too far. It's time I stand up for myself." As the days pass, the tension grows worse. Her mother sends messages begging her to stop. Her father refuses to speak to her. Tina posts angry messages online about ungrateful sisters. Maya reads them all but doesn't reply. She's done explaining. Each night, she feels the loneliness pressing on her, but beneath it, there's a quiet strength building. She knows she's doing what's right, even if it means standing alone. For years, Maya had been the one holding her family together. Now, she was finally learning how to hold herself. The family sits divided in the courtroom. The air feels heavy, filled with tension and shame. Maya sits beside her lawyer, Ethan, calm but tired. Across from her are her parents and Tina, their faces pale and worried. When the judge enters, everyone rises. The sound of the gavel echoes through the hall, and Maya's heart races. This is the moment that will change everything. Ethan stands and begins presenting the documents. "Your Honor," he says firmly, "we have clear proof that my client's signature was forged on the house sale documents." He hands the papers to the judge. Maya watches as the judge studies them closely. Then he looks toward her parents. "Mr. and Mrs. Okafor," he says slowly, "is this your daughter's real signature?" Her father hesitates, glancing at her mother. Finally, he shakes his head. "No, it's not." His voice is barely a whisper. The courtroom goes silent. Tina bites her lip, eyes filled with guilt. Ethan continues, showing the receipts and bank statements. The money from the sale was transferred directly to accounts linked to the defendant's family, not to the rightful owner. This was a planned act. The judge nods. This is clear evidence of fraud. Maya's parents lower their heads, unable to look at her. Her mother begins to cry quietly, whispering, "We didn't mean for it to go this far." Maya's heart aches, but she stays silent. She has heard too many excuses before. After reviewing all the documents, the judge finally speaks. This court finds that the sale of the property was made through forged documents. Therefore, the transaction is invalid. The house shall be returned to its rightful owner, Miss Maya Okafor. A wave of relief washes over her. She closes her eyes for a moment, tears forming, but she quickly wipes them away. The judge continues. As for the matter of forgery and fraud, the court has grounds to open a criminal case against the defendants. Do you wish to proceed, Miss Okafor? The courtroom turns silent again. Everyone looks at Maya, even Tina, her eyes wide with fear. Her parents look completely broken, their hands trembling. Maya takes a deep breath. This is her chance for full justice, to make them face the punishment they deserve. But as she looks at their tired faces, she feels something shift inside her. She stands slowly and says in a calm voice, "No, Your Honor. I don't want to press criminal charges. I only want my house back." Ethan looks at her in surprise, but he doesn't interrupt. The judge studies her for a moment, then nods. "Very well. The criminal charges are dropped at the plaintiff's request. The property deed will be restored immediately." The gavel falls again and the session ends. Maya gathers her things quietly and walks toward the exit. Her parents remain seated, crying softly. Tina stands frozen, unsure what to do. As Maya steps outside the courtroom, the sunlight hits her face. It feels warm, like freedom. For the first time in years, she breathes easily. Suddenly, she hears hurried footsteps behind her. Tina runs after her, tears streaming down her face. "Maya, wait," she shouts. Maya stops but doesn't turn around at first. Tina catches up, her voice breaking. "You ruined us. You made everyone hate us. How could you do this to your own family?" Maya finally turns to face her sister. Her eyes are calm but sad. "No, Tina," she says softly. "I didn't ruin us. You did. The day you decided my hard work didn't matter, that's the day you destroyed this family." Tina opens her mouth to speak, but no words come out. She stands there crying as Maya walks away, her steps steady and sure. Ethan waits by the car. "Are you okay?" he asks gently. Maya nods. "I am now." They drive away in silence, leaving the courthouse and the pain behind. As they pass the familiar street where her house stands, Maya looks out the window. The gate is still there, the same old tree beside it. For the first time, she smiles. It's not just a building anymore. It's a symbol of everything she survived. She whispers to herself, I got my home back, and my peace. Behind her, her family stands in the ruins of their choices, broken, ashamed, and divided. But Maya doesn't look back. For the first time in her life, she's walking forward, free, strong, and finally at peace with her decision. Maya moves into the restored house. It's empty but peaceful. The rooms are quiet, the walls still bare, but to her, it feels like a fresh start. She opens the windows and lets the warm breeze in. For the first time in a long while, she feels safe. No shouting, no guilt, no pressure. Just silence and peace. The garden looks dry and forgotten, but Maya doesn't mind. She rolls up her sleeves and begins to clean it slowly. She pulls out the weeds, sweeps the ground, and plants a small tree in the corner of the yard. As she presses the soil around its roots, she whispers, new beginnings. Every day after that, she waters the tree and watches the leaves open a little more. It becomes her symbol of healing. A quiet reminder that growth takes time. One weekend, Ethan visits. He stands at the doorway, smiling. You've done a good job, Maya. The house looks alive again. Maya laughs softly. It's not much yet, but it feels like mine again. That's what matters. They sit on the porch drinking tea. Ethan looks at her and says, you should be proud. You stood up for yourself, even when it hurt. Most people wouldn't have the strength to do that. Maya nods. It wasn't easy. Some nights I almost gave up, but I realized I can't keep fixing people who keep breaking me. Ethan smiles. That's growth. After he leaves, Maya sits quietly, thinking about everything that's happened. The lies, the pain, the courtroom, and the choice she made to forgive without forgetting. She feels lighter now, as if she has finally let go of the burden she carried for years. Her phone buzzes. She looks at the screen. It's her mother calling. For a long moment, she just stares at it. The call ends, then another comes in. This time, it's her father. She doesn't pick up, but when they stop calling, a voicemail appears. Curious, she presses play. Her father's voice comes through, trembling and sad. Maya, we didn't realize what we took from you. We were wrong. You have every right to be angry. I don't know if you'll forgive us, but I hope someday you'll let us make it right. Maya listens quietly, tears filling her eyes. For a moment, her heart softens. But then she remembers the pain, the betrayal, and the long nights she spent crying alone. She takes a deep breath, deletes the voicemail, and whispers, I forgive you, but I'm moving on. Outside, the sun is setting. The little tree in her yard sways gently in the wind. She smiles, a soft, peaceful smile. The kind that comes when you stop chasing people who never truly saw you. That night, Maya lights a candle, makes herself dinner, and sits by the window watching the stars. For the first time in years, she feels completely free. No anger, no guilt, just peace. Her home is quiet, but it's hers, and as the moonlight fills the room, she knows that healing has truly begun. Months later, the tree in Maya's yard blooms. Its green leaves dance softly in the morning wind, and small white flowers cover the branches. Maya sits on the porch, sipping a warm cup of tea. The sunlight touches her face, and she closes her eyes, breathing in the calm air. Across the street, a neighbor waves to her. She smiles and waves back. It feels good, simple, peaceful, real. No noise, no tension, no pretending. Just life, quiet and kind. She looks around her small yard. The house she fought for, the garden she brought back to life, and the tree that started as a tiny plant now full of color. Every part of it reminds her how far she has come. Maya thinks about her past, the pain, the betrayal, and the long nights of tears. It all feels like a different world now. She no longer carries anger in her heart. She has learned that peace doesn't come from revenge or apologies. It comes from letting go. Her phone lies beside her, silent. She no longer waits for her family to call. She no longer hopes they will say sorry again. She has accepted what happened and found something better. Herself. She smiles gently, whispering to the tree, "We both made it." As the wind blows, the flowers on the tree move like they're nodding back at her. She laughs softly and takes another sip of tea. If this were a movie, her voice would echo over the scene, calm and strong. Sometimes family breaks you to remind you who you are without them. And when you rebuild, you realize peace was always yours to claim. The camera would pull back slowly, the house shining in the golden light, the blooming tree beside it, and Maya sitting there, smiling quietly. Her house, her story, her peace. Hi besties. Two Hearts, thanks so much for watching till the end. Don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories. See you in the next one. Bye. Waving Hand Sparkles.